Welcome, listeners, to the Fine Art Treasure Hunt that saxophonist Nelson Devereaux and I conducted at the MIA one day before he left for LA, and the current leg of Bon Iver's 22 A Million tour. 15 minutes into the first half of our interview, conducted over coffee in the entrance hall, I couldn't believe my ears to hear that Nelson finished tracking a new record the previous day. With that record now released on Bandcamp, Back to the City is very excited to share Nelson's first and so far only interview about it. I'm sitting outside the Agriculture Kitchen and Press coffee shop at the MIA, the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, with Nelson Devereaux.
Yep. Hi.
Thank you very much for suggesting this location,
Absolutely.
Nelson.
Yeah.
And we're going to make the most of it because Nelson is involved in so many different projects. We're going to be visiting various different rooms at the MIA and maybe even selecting specific paintings that we think are the correct accompaniment to the various different projects. And we'll have to describe them very well for the radio.
Yeah. Just tell you where they are too.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back, you can check them out.
Yeah, I think many of the listeners will be in Minneapolis, so come down the street or come and visit Minneapolis. It's not just music.
Yeah. Right.
You moved, speaking of Minneapolis, I think it's been almost a decade since you moved here.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, really, actually.
Yeah, 2007.
Yep.
Yeah, so you moved here to go to the U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And before then, you'd been in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Yeah. Studying jazz at the Wisconsin Conservatory of Music.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what were some of the most significant moments for you there?
Well, at the conservatory specifically, I guess. Well, I'm tickled because I haven't thought about these things in a while. But I had a teacher in Berkeley, Fudge, who's just a legendary saxophonist.
I was going to quiz you about him, actually.
Yeah, he's so he would just sit. I just think the moment I was really entranced with playing and improvising was when he was just pounding out. I remember one specific time he was pounding out D Dorian, and he was just screaming Dorian. He was like, Dorian, Dorian.
The word Dorian.
Yeah, Dorian. D Dorian, D Dorian. He would just pound it on the piano, just crazy. And I was like, oh my god, all right, here we go. And he just teaching me all this stuff, and that was kind of his method. He would barely touch the horn when he was playing at lessons. He would just play piano and shout. And it was great, because that's how I learned.
And that's someone who you obviously had looked up to.
Oh, Berkeley, yeah.
Yeah, long before meeting him.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, first time I saw him play I was probably like 12 or something. And I remember we would count the number of times he would blink during his solo. Yeah, he's like one of those types where he doesn't move a whole lot. And he would just kind of stare. He would stare. Like me, sometimes I'm more of like an eye closer when I play, because it's just, I don't know, the audience is great, but a lot of times you can't even see the audience. Yeah. Because it's so dark, the lights are shining in your eyes, and you can't even, like, I mean, 9 times out of 10 that's kind of the case. So I just kind of close my eyes, and it's just like, alright, here I am, I'm in my own like little encased zone. Yeah. But,
I've witnessed you in your zone a bunch of times.
Berg would just have his eyes open the whole time. Yeah,
and of course he has to blink.
Yeah, at a certain point. Yeah, so he would blink like 2 to 3 times, like per 3 minutes. So. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it's funny.
So that's a major memory from being there.
Yeah. He was awesome.
And how about the rest of your time before moving to Minneapolis? Because you were involved in various musical projects, of course, pre-Minneapolis. Yeah. So what were those?
Well, there wasn't anything major, of course, but I definitely we had a Tower of Power cover band in high school.
Yeah.
And I was called Bump City, and a lot of those dudes have they've moved on to do really cool stuff. It's like the band, everyone just goes out to the far corners of the world. Like one of the dudes was going to school for music in Michigan and then moved to Turkey and is like doing ethnomusicology over there, and like one of them is like an aspiring politician, and one of my best buds is out in LA doing saxophone as well. So yeah, we kind of just all played and did that. did that piece.
Yeah. So what was the piece called again?
Oh, it's Bump City.
Bump City. Yeah.
And you'd be hard pressed to find a recording of that band. But we had.
Well, try, but
yeah, we had these arrangements that this dude Alex would crank out, and he was, he's our age, and he was just doing full arrangements of Tower of Power songs for our band, and we would have to that's how I got better too, is he was pushing all of us because he was he's so brilliant, I guess.
So we have him to thank in part, as well as Fudge.
Definitely, Fudge.
For Nelson.
Yeah, we had great band teachers too in high school. And they were great supporters. I mean, we had jazz 5 days a week, and we were, they let me lead a combo when I was, 16 years old. Yeah. And of underclassmen, and so that was great too. It's teachers that believe in the students and kind of would let things happen. So
the parents and the teachers, of course, putting you in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like at a very early age then you must have known that music and jazz in particular is what your calling was.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much picked up the saxophone. It was I don't remember exactly how old I was, 7, 8, something like that. So fairly young. And
I'd say
it's kind of bizarre because that's what I learned the technical aspects of music on. Yeah. Is saxophone, and then of course I played guitar because my dad is he's not like a musician, but he plays guitar and sings, and he's really wonderful. He's in rock bands.
Which rock bands is he in?
I mean, nothing now. He's
was he?
He was in a band called Tetra.
Oh, cool.
But he, it's the Northwoods. My parents were Northwoods of Wisconsin. Folks. So he moved down to Milwaukee for a job. But he was a rock and roller. And cool. So I learned a bunch of chords. Around the same time. Maybe even before I picked up saxophone as the guitar, but I'm not a virtuoso on that at all.
But I love
it.
Yeah, and it highlights on your bio on your website that you listen to music of all styles, and you play with musicians of all styles. Yeah. So I can remember just earlier this year. We're going to talk a lot about this year, I think, because you were just telling me it's been a very busy, intense summer in particular. But
summer.
I can remember there was one weekend when there was the Mark Mormon record release, double 2 nights at Ice House, and there was also that same weekend the Big Cats release at the Amsterdam in St. Paul, and I've been looking forward to going to both, and I was thinking, hang on, wait, where's Nelson going to be? Because you were playing on the Mormon record, and the first night you were playing with Mark. Yeah. But then the Big Cats thing was, I think, the following night.
I had to do it. Yeah, I love Spencer.
Yeah.
And I love Mark too. Those are both huge influences on me. Yeah. The way that they conduct themselves, and the way that they produce music. It's just insane.
It is.
And just, they're radically different styles. But man, gotta admire them. Yeah. They're just great.
So let's make a plan as to which projects we want to talk about, and which, and then we can think about which rooms to go to. So,
that's a good idea.
So we could include those guys as well, but definitely what we need to talk about is Cat Sax and Hustle Rose.
Hustle Rose, very interesting.
And is that because there's a metric song called Hustle Rose? This is a coincidence?
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely a I don't know. David's gonna hate me if I'm wrong, so I can't really speak to that.
No comment.
No comment. But
it just adds to the mystique.
Absolutely.
And you signed Underground as well.
All worth talking about. Now things I've dropped off kind of on social media. I've tried to become more of myself, and less of
the musician,
a part of these.
Or the self-promotion musician.
I think because that was getting a bit much, and I think because I knew I needed, or in my head I was I wanted to fulfill a role of being a great advocate for a lot of these projects, and I think that was sort of wearing me down in a way where I had more of there was a physical manifestation. I don't know if it was necessarily causing stress, but I think because I was holding all these roles, all these jobs, I felt obligated to do everything. Because if you're involved in you know, 5, 6 projects, and they got all these shows, and they
Yeah.
all want to grow. It's like, oh my god, which one do I pick? Who am I backing? Like, which one am I physically going to play?
Yep.
And that is hard because, like, this year has been, it's been great for me in terms of playing shows and getting out there and stuff. But I've
Yep.
also reached like a physical limit. Like, I've been experimenting and kind of flirting with that line of like, what can I do? What can I not do? And how much time do I need to like rest?
Yeah,
you know?
fair enough.
So,
And yeah, so we're cutting out all of the.
it's crazy.
We're cutting out a bunch of the like social media promotion for the
Mhm.
act. Like you're already doing enough, so that seems like that's been a wise move.
But it also means that my landscape has changed with a lot of those bands that you mentioned. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, love Hustle Rose. I can't make all the gigs, you know.
Right.
So it's one of those things where I have to choose, and the dudes are all like some of my best friends. So
Yeah.
I think they understand. You know, but and actually the same goes with New Sound Underground, which is really quite crazy because I've been so heavily involved with that project for years.
With the new record, just dropped like at the Triple Rock, didn't it?
Yeah, they did
months or so
the
ago.
Triple Rock, and then we did the Turf Club. So we have vinyl now, but I don't know that I'm going to be playing with them much longer, or maybe if at all. So I think I love the band, man. They're so good, and I mean that in the best way. You know, I'm not trying to be. Not trying to be macho or anything,
you
but
just
I just
have
think
so much on. We haven't even mentioned, like, the day after we track this interview, you'll be in Vegas, touring with Bon Iver.
Yep.
Which is no small thing, of course. And you've been touring with Hamar Superstar.
Yep. And that's taken a lot of my time this year. That was my kind of my intro into like a different tier of touring artists.
I'd say.
We've done lots of DIY with New Sound particularly. Like that was like really where, you know, that's really where we were sleeping on floors and like, you know.
So you would tour with them.
Yeah.
But it was that kind of touring experience.
Yeah.
As opposed, so how can you kind of encapsulate a feature of the experience of touring with Hamar that is like the opposite and or still totally different?
Well, I guess there are just higher profile shows.
Yeah, of course.
So higher profile shows with proper hospitality for artists. I think, you know, because
like a rider.
Yeah.
As opposed to a floor.
Exactly. And you know, we're definitely we're appreciative of the floors. We're appreciative of all the times, like all the times with New Sound where we wouldn't have a place to stay before the gig. And we would have to find it, and that's
on the fly.
Like, so many times we've had to do that, and it's cool. We've gotten better.
It's invigorating.
That, but
But if you're like worn out from doing so much, like.
But it's crazy. Yeah, you gotta have a bed. You gotta have like good food and like a place to chill.
Yeah.
Because like it's really hard.
Yeah.
And like just mad props to Sean for like having done that for 20 years because that dude is he's great. Like, he's still perform. You know, he's like still destroying music.
Absolutely.
After 20 years of doing that.
You
know, and he's come a long way. And so like help people like me and the band kind of get up to that level is sweet.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, with the Bon Iver thing, that's totally. I'm not even really ready. I don't think because I don't know what that's really like.
Yeah. How can one be ready for that? For that too.
I'm just trying to take deep breaths.
Yeah. One review said there was no record since Kid A that had such a kind of impact in different ways on the listenership. Yeah. People loving it and people not knowing what to do with it. And then and then similarly, one of the other reviews highlighted this century there hadn't been a piece of music, maybe not even just music, that spoke to personal tribulations and kind of working through them. This was, according to this review, the best record of that. It's pretty in this century.
I mean, it comes from a place. I mean, it comes from deep down. You know, and that's I can definitely. I know that's true, and I don't know. Yeah, it's great. I personally, I love the record.
Me too.
And I think it's beautiful. Yeah. And every time I listen to it, I'm flooded with these memories of tracking it, but also like being involved. Yeah. So I have a different like take on it, but also like, man, it just really, it cuts deep, man. It's like, there's all these feelings. I'm really into music that when you listen to it, you have an instant feeling.
Yeah.
And it's not a specific, well, it will be like a specific feeling, but like,
it might take a while to work out what this specific feeling is, but you feel it. It's like you don't need to find it by like closely analysing the lyrics and like think, oh, that's intellectually what's there. Yeah. Like you feel it, and then you find out what it is.
And that's perfect. I mean, Justin's music is perfect for that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And I just think that, I don't know, it's serendipity that I would, and it's really a nice opportunity to be involved in something like that, because I feel that too. You know, it's like, I want to make music like that.
Yeah.
Someday, you know?
Well, you do. I mean, you also have a there's just a Nelson Devereaux record. Yeah. Which is what's it called again?
Love Nelson.
Love Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are, but I can tell you're very driven. So you're going to push yourself to kind of to do that more and more.
Yeah. Well, I should say, because why not? I have a new record that is being mixed right now.
Oh wow! Is that just under your name? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have a title?
Should I say it?
It's completely up to you.
Sure. Why not? Yeah. It's called Early Fall.
Oh, nice.
I started recording it 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
I finished yesterday basically.
Wow. And now that Early Fall is with us, it was dropped basically yesterday, dear listeners. We couldn't be more pleased and proud to share some songs, including this last June. Took the bridge back time. And to take a bridge back in time to Nelson's first impromptu interview about it.
You took me back in time.
I didn't play all the instruments this time.
Oh, who did?
Brian Courage played bass.
Yeah.
You know Brian Courage?
I don't know him well, but I recognize his name.
Oh man, it sounds so good. He's an upright bass player.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He was just in town from New York to play some jazz for like a week. Now he's off to Europe with some rock band or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was just in town, and I was like, dude, will you record on this record? And he's like, yes. So he did all the parts in like an hour and a half on all 9 songs. He's just boom, boom, boom. So and then Miguel, one of my best friends, played drums.
Hashtag. In the cat sax context, at least.
Yep. That's really his only internet presence is the hashtag. So why not?
Cool.
Yep. And then my brother does some stuff on it. Not much. Mostly vocals, and he's sort of the first.
Like backing vocals? You're the lead vocalist.
Yep. Yeah. So he's a couple additions. They're not blatant, so you won't really recognize it. But I don't think. Sorry, Max. And then, but he's sort of the first dude I played the record for. And then finally Spencer, Big Cats. Is pretty heavily involved.
Yeah.
So.
Playing.
He does some stuff.
Yeah, he does some stuff. I like
some stuff. I just brought it to him and I was like, hey, you want to help me with this?
Well, it must feel great to to have had the idea of doing the record like post Eau Claire, knowing that you were going to be going on tour with Bon Iver, and that would be like a big stress and a big pressure, and then knowing that you're going and all these people that you would like to get involved come together and it's done.
Let's just say this is a prototype for something else too.
Oh, cool. So. We're going to finish.
That's a lot more information than you're probably expecting to even get in scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. That's wonderful. Yeah, so, really, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Like, a new record, which is in turn, like, preempting something else. Wow. Pre-Scavenger Hunt, then, and before having heard anything off the record, I was honoured to spend the next 10 minutes quizzing Nelson about it.
Yeah, a lot of this restructuring, re-landscaping, it's kind of gone down since Eau Claire. I felt like I really needed to figure out how I was not going to go insane with all these bands going on.
Since Eau Claire,
since August.
Yeah, and that's where the new Bon Iver record was debuted live. Yeah. So since that, and were you playing with other bands at Eau Claire?
Yeah, I had my own trio, Cat Sax was playing.
Yep.
And then Harmar. So it was 3 sets.
Yeah.
So I was busy boy.
Yeah.
It was great to do all that music. it was really fun to hang out though.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
Yeah.
Because we'd been rehearsing for like 7 days with Justin and everybody. So
yeah, but like one of the biggest shows of the career,
definitely,
right?
yeah.
Maybe the biggest to unveil an entire album in that context.
Yeah. There was some pressure there, but it was cool though because we got that done on Friday, and then Saturday I had those 2 other sets, and it was just like, oh yeah, I'm home, like playing this music.
Yeah.
You know?
So you were saying, so as to not go crazy, you have to come back and kind of. You were saying kind of.
I just needed to because I don't know. I just see myself like I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
So I'm like starting to think about what my life is gonna look like.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah. Well, it's looking from the outside. It's looking
okay.
Great.
Okay.
Exciting.
That's all right.
Good trajectory.
On the inside, man, I've just been kind of like working. You know?
Yeah.
And I've been, I don't know, man. I just like ever since then I've been sort of trying to make stuff.
Yeah.
And
you've made an
album. Way of saying it, but yeah, I made an album. It's very different stuff, you know.
So that deserves a room or a painting. Like
that certainly does.
Early fall does.
Yeah.
So let's decide which projects or.
Well, I'd like to maybe feature that one. I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know. Cat Sex is still.
Yep.
It's a crazy thing.
Yep.
I mean, there could be one that kind of makes up the rest of the projects, like, because man, this record is also just about like letting go of stuff and like who the hell am I, you know, kind of vibe, and like what am I left with if I'm left with nothing that's familiar, and like a lot of stuff.
There's so much changing.
Yeah, there's like a lot of change. Early fall, you know.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of exactly, especially if you're in Minneapolis or Minnesota. Or the Midwest. And
music just pours. Sometimes it just like is a blast of stuff, and I just have to do that.
So you just made the album, having come back from Oakland. Was it thinking, oh, I'm doing lots of music for other people, I should also be like expressing my own self, or was it like I need to work out what I'm thinking, and I have the medium of music to help me work out what I'm thinking?
I think that's more of it.
Yeah.
Because music has always been my outlet, and my primary outlet has been screaming things on a saxophone.
Yeah.
And I love doing that, and that's like my passion, but I also would like to do more of like this. I'd like to sing more, I'd like to use my voice, I'd like to use words as an accompaniment to that, and to punctuate the words with some sort of otherworldly crazy noise on a instrument that I played forever. So I wanted.
The first time I saw you live, it was at a show that Mark was playing, and I think it was the first ever Lunch Thatcher show as well at the Turf Club.
Oh yeah, nice.
And it was otherworldly.
Yeah, he sort of let me go.
Yeah.
That's why I love Mark, because Mark is like, Mark's stuff is like really nice and together, and but then it just gets so crazy, and it's awesome, and then he'll just be like, yeah, you can just go.
Because the feeling is like what you were talking about with the feeling, and especially with the new record. I mean, Mark was on the first ever episode of this podcast, and he's been on it a few times. The theme song is his music.
Yeah, that's great.
And he was talking about, especially with that record, I think there's less lyrics. It's more open, and the music kind of speaks.
Yeah.
And so it sounds similar to what you were saying.
Yeah. I'm going the opposite direction, maybe. I don't know.
Well, because you've discovered yourself as a lyricist.
Yeah.
How and when did the lyrics come to you then?
The writing process for me right now, pretty consistently, has been I need to write lyrics at the same time. If I don't finish the lyrics, I don't necessarily like to go back.
They don't go with that song if they're not.
Exactly.
It's because there's an immediacy.
It's like right there. I have to do it. So the lyrics they just sort of pop in my head. Honestly, I've had no shortage of inspirations because of the complexity
life experience
of what's going on. You know, and it's really not all great. So you know, it's cool, but it's not all the best stuff. So.
So not to like pry into like your personal life too much, but are there any lyrics that you think, so any of your new lyrics on Early Fall that encapsulate the feeling more so than others? Then do you think?
I guess the title Early Fall is not just about the
season. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's a different thing. It's like it's a coming it's slamming into your limitations.
Right.
It's realizing that you're human, you know, and you're not always going to be able to do things that you want to do. I don't know. It's not like in a crybaby sort of way. It's like oh man, you gotta time things out. You gotta be smart about how you. I don't know. Like I don't want to be too literal about what it is that's going on, but it's just like it. You know, anyone can relate to that because you know.
We're all navigating life and making choices, deciding what's necessary and what's detrimental. And it's interesting looking at you from outside. You know, one could imagine you writing a record called Early Rise, which would be like, I mean, for one thing, you have to get up early to fit everything in. But also, you were saying touring with Hamas has been the beginning of like the next tier, and that's already like the metaphor of rising. Whenever anyone makes a transition to like an extra step, there are things that need to go and adjustments that need to be made.
Exactly.
And that's what the record is encapsulating, which is a human experience that other people can relate to.
Basically, what it is. Yeah, man. And it's just like you nailed it, really. But you know, you kind of land after stuff like that happens. Sometimes that has already caught up with you. You know, before you really made these choices that will allow you to thrive or whatever. So that's basically what it's about, man.
Yeah, wonderful.
And it's really weird, but I don't know.
It must feel
if you like Love Nelson, you'll probably like this one.
Yes, I do.
I'm not gonna speak, I guess, about it anymore.
Okay.
But I think check it out. Yeah.
Awesome. We're going to make a plan as to which rooms and which paintings to go to.
Yeah.
Are there any that come to mind immediately that you think, oh, this project needs this visual accompaniment?
There are a few.
Okay, well, next time we pick up, we'll be in front of a painting.
Sounds good.
In front of a painting, to the very appropriate soundtrack of this Under the Lake from Nelson's Early Fall. So we're looking at Maxwell Parrish's Dream Castle in the Sky from 1908, and it's an oil on canvas. And you were trying to illustrate this? I
was trying to like say what it looked like to somebody. I think it was my friend Joe. Just like, dude, you gotta go see this painting because it's really rad and from like the early 1900s. You know.
What were you able to come up with in terms of describing it? It's quite evocative. It's very evocative.
It's very evocative.
Difficult to translate into the medium of.
Yeah, I mean, you can say what's literally there is, you know, it's this fantastical castle on a cliff, very high cliff. It's a perspective shot, and this guy's just looking up at it. He's got his pan flute.
Yeah, oh, very musical.
Some grape leaves on his ears, and and there's this lake in between them, and it just looks so far away. You know?
Yeah.
Can't see to the bottom. I just go to the bottom. Just come up for air.
He's just looking up at it, sort of surprised and
he's marveling. He's not kind of. I mean, he's happy enough with his flute. In this setting, so he's not kind of yearning, but he is kind of wistful or something. Like looking at. That's a pretty cool castle.
It's just like admiring. It's like admiring the beauty of it or the fantastical nature of it all. But then just the colors are so strange. You know, it's not.
Yeah, and right in the focal point in the center, is that like a. What is that? Like a mountain?
Oh, right.
In the background?
Yeah.
It's in the center of the painting, so you know, not what he's looking at, but we're drawn to that as a focal point too.
Yeah, it is very interesting. But I just love how you get clear rule of thirds here.
Oh yeah.
Like that,
how is the rule of thirds happening?
Well, you have the trees there
Yep.
and the person there.
Yeah.
And it's a diagonal line going
Yeah.
off to the left of his field of vision. As
Absolutely.
It's great. I really like it.
Yeah, I love it too. Does it have any? Does this painting have any features that are in any way analogous to features of any of the projects that you're involved in?
Well, I think maybe it would be like the personal ones, because you're, I'd just be like sitting on a rock, naked, and
Yeah.
no, I have this wind instrument, whatever. I'm just,
Yeah.
but personally, I sort of like find myself dumbfounded a lot when I'm in situations of like awe,
Yeah.
or like intense beauty or whatever, and I'm the type of dude who will go out of his way to just like find that, or like
Yeah.
if I feel like a certain vibe in like for example in Minneapolis, like I'll drive to Lake of the Isles or whatever, just to like see the water of the island,
Yeah.
and just park for a second and like hang
And
just
experience
yeah.
wonder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or you'll suggest that an interview happen at the art gallery.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So
that comes through. So in your so in the Nelson Devereaux
Yeah, I think
previous
so.
record, the one that's gonna come up.
Yeah, that one. If we were talking about that one, there would have to be a couple other people on that rock. But yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's less of a it's not a solo thing.
Not necessarily. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Cool.
But I just think this is fascinating. It's easy to miss if you come here.
Yeah. So which room is this?
Oh.
If people are not gonna miss it.
Well, it's the third floor. And I don't know what room it's called. But I guess it's on the very south side.
Yeah.
So it's the center of the museum, third floor, south side,
Yeah.
across from the fireplace.
Yeah.
Find it.
Perfect.
Hide and seek, or whatever.
Scavenger hunt. So for Maxfield Parish, Dream Castle in the Sky. And this has been Classical C from Nelson's previous record, Love Nelson.
This actually would be pretty evocative of like what a Cat Sax record is like.
Oh, I can see / hear that. a
So
little.
it's pointillism. It's the godfather of pointillism.
Uh-huh.
So we got Surratt. He literally wrote the book on this and died when he was very young. Actually, he was relatively young, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And I've yet to check out the book. It's probably written in French, but
So he literally wrote a book
yeah,
on pointillism. Yeah.
Yeah, and really it's just color theory.
Yeah.
But this is, relates to Cat Sax because we are taking some stuff that's really on its own pretty abstract
Yes.
and assembling songs out of that. So
Yeah.
these building blocks.
What are the building blocks of Cat Sax?
Well, I mean, if you want to get down to a real basic level, it's like a horn and a drum and I guess more drum.
Also
and
very percussive.
Percussive stuff. And how do you improvise and make that a song?
Yeah.
And we've been experimenting more with songwriting recently, just because I've sort of pushed it on the dudes. But
yeah. So there's a new batch
yeah.
of songs.
There's a new batch of songs. Some of the stuff we did out of Claire's is pretty much, but not getting too much into that. It's just basically like we've got a bunch of colors.
Yeah.
And we're gonna spin it into something using what we know about maybe music theory, or not like we're thinking like that, but it's inherent. I mean, just like this would have had to be completely natural for Surratt to do a painting like this, and he had to explain that to people via his book.
Yeah.
We're trying to do that with Cat Sax.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
It's just you'd have to be born with kind of a natural distinction for color, Like, look at that. I mean, you take 10 steps back. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
the
you get
fact
up close, you can analyze it.
10 steps back, it is this scene.
Yeah.
Immediately recognizable as. So, what is the scene?
I haven't really studied this painting too much. I think it's fantastic. It left the museum for a while. So we had a different exhibit somewhere else, but yeah, the scene looks like a port or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mountains and,
Yep, and there's recognizably like
there's
people
characters,
and characters
yeah.
and houses, and but then when you get up close, of course, it's
just tiny little dots of color.
Yeah,
Meticulously placed to make this big image. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Wonderful. Cool. Well, let's continue on our hunt. And this room again is this is Impressionism in French art, 1860 to 1914.
Yeah, it's great.
To the soundtrack of Cat's Axe, You Can Find Me in the Tall Grass, you'll next find us in the presence of some European Impressionism. We're in the Expressionism in European art 1900 to 1945 room now. And we're looking at
Blind Man's Bluff, Max Beckmann. 1945.
Oil on canvas.
He was just fascinating. The use of actually black, the color black, in his work is kind of fascinating.
How so? How would you describe the use of the color black?
Well, it's almost as if he had black backgrounds on all of these characters here, and he's painting on top of that, which has like a shadowy effect.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's just great.
And there's this
it's huge.
There's this looming horse.
Yeah.
Figure.
Yeah, there's something about the clock too. There's an emission of something on the clock in this piece.
An omission of something?
Yeah, I think they just don't have. They don't have a. Or this. I remember reading something about it. That's fascinating. There's another, of course. There's some wind instruments in this one too.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's appropriately musical, and a harp.
But it's the scale of this work is crazy, and I've just always loved the way that he does faces. They're just so expressive. I mean,
what is being expressed by some of these faces, do you think?
I don't know. Grief.
Yes.
Sometimes. Pensive behavior. I mean, if you look at when this is made, 1945, we have the end of the war. We have like these people that all look like they're in the same room. You know, there's all these people doing all sorts of stuff. You know, they might all be in the same boat.
Yeah.
I know there's specific imagery being used here, so I can't get too specific myself because I'm not completely aware of it. But you know,
there's one guy that has a blindfold on and is holding his hand up to like his heart. Would you say a bit higher than his heart?
Yeah.
He's got a candle.
Yeah. It's the blind man, I suppose, and Blind Man's Bluff.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. So does this have any features that relate to those of any of the projects again?
Man, this might just be life.
Right. But life as you can relate to it.
Yeah, I guess, you know,
you're happy looking through this lens.
All this stuff going on, and people are playing all sorts of instruments, and time is this imagery of a clock and time and time passing. And, you know, sometimes it's like there's a blind man depicted with a light. So like, what does a blind man need a candle for? You know, so it's like sometimes you can see, you want to see the way, and it's lit for you, but you still can't do it. You know, it's like I mean, I'm just freestyling here.
No, that's great. Oh, you're good at freestyling.
But you're just like, you see this guy whispering what was like a secret to a room, and there's this woman in between them, and this man who was concerned, you know, on the other side. It's crazy. It's like passing through her ear to this man.
Great.
You know.
So, you've said that Cat's Axe is best described as space jazz?
I guess.
Or Cat's Axe has said that cat sax is best described as space jazz.
I think when we were trying to describe it, that was what we came up with.
Yeah,
So
that's a good description. But I think that
that's pretty wild.
these visual analogies are kind of helping more. Because I think that the uniqueness of each performance and not quite knowing where it's going to go in each case, that's how it's space jazz.
Yeah,
yeah,
in a sense, because we're just taking that tradition and kind of exploding it.
Yeah.
Which some people might think is sacrilege, but I think it's maybe the highest form of flattery.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and we've got our pointillism metaphor to help us.
Well, I mean, I
think about
think
it in a
that's a
different
more
way.
traditional art form too. I think people knew that we were really trying. I mean, we're trying to get to a place where it's understandable, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can seem like these things are disjuncted or sort of like, you know, abstract. But really, if you take a step back, you can find form.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's there. I mean, we're not trying to be out just to be out. That's not, you know, that's not what we're going for. So,
Yeah, right.
Sometimes people do that, and that's cool, and they can do that.
But that makes total sense. The mission of like creating something that anyone can recognize and appreciate from a bunch of colored points.
That's the road warrior right there.
Oh, cool.
And
So
that also might be a hard thing to say because I think it's like for like veterans of war. But man, you just feel like that sometimes. You got the shield up, and you're missing limbs. You know.
wow.
I'm down and out.
Somewhat like the wounded samurai of this,
I'm taking a bow.
the song by that name on the early Fool.
Don't hate me 'cause I'm bitter. It doesn't make me better.
That's
Yeah.
the more Henry Moore sculpture.
The Road Warrior.
Oh God.
This room is called Reconnecting with a Physical World. It says the drips, splatters and colour fields of the abstract expressionists commanded international attention in the 1950s.
It's a 53, 54.
Uh-huh.
There's this sculpture here.
And it describes it as brash. The movement is brash, even macho. It was a perfect fit for America's bold new image on the world stage after World War II. So it's interesting, yeah, because this figure is bold.
Oh, it's bold. Yeah.
Facing whatever is coming its way.
Yep.
And
Still
bold
fighting.
but broken.
Yep.
Broken but
That's
bold.
crazy.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you can look at it from both ways.
It's really a marvelous statue. It was downstairs for a long time.
I'm down and out. I'm taking a bow. I'm taking a bow.
And this is in the center of this room, and this is something that you were talking about before we got here. So this is like a particularly significant piece for you in the
I just
in the
think that
collection.
everyone has struggles, and it's not like I'm not like having a particularly bad time, personally, but you know, you come across things that, and you just like sometimes you get beat down, and you feel like you're missing arms and legs.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, it's just, but you keep your shield up, you know, keep fighting.
And these moments can become defining moments.
Absolutely.
And enable one to be resilient. Yes, I might be missing a leg. Yes, I might be like in a battle, but in the future, I will have been in this battle.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
It will shape you.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but I love this piece. It's crazy. Big bronze statue.
It's so evocative.
I mean, look at that. Like how the eyes and
The
mouth
eyes,
are
yeah.
depicted. Yeah. Pretty raw.
What is it about so the fact that it's like recognizable as a human form, but kind of distorted by the conflict, by World War II, or by whatever the conflict happens to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
But still recognizable and still like determined to remain itself,
Right.
or become itself. Still recognizably human. This is Big Cats. The sons of God are everywhere. So we're entering the Japan-China Asian period rooms. Nelson's been watching lots of Japanese movies.
I'm attempting to learn the language too, which is funny.
Well, you're bound to have an opportunity to do a tour of Asia at some point.
Hopefully, yeah.
So it'll be good preparation.
Man, if I get over there, that would be the bomb. These screens are always fascinating. They have a great collection here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're picturing the classics. This is the Tale of Genji. Do you know the Tale of Genji? Let's see, the Tale of Genji. The literary masterworks of Japan's classical Heian period. Elegant poetry, fanciful stories and epic tales have inspired the country's artists for more than 1,000 years. The most famous of these is the Tale of Genji, a novel written by Murasaki Shikabu, a lady-in-waiting at the imperial court. The fictional story chronicles the eventful life and romantic pursuits of the dashing courtier Hikaru Genji, the so-called Shining Prince.
Shining Prince.
And his offspring. Illustrations of the tale's well-known episodes, as well as pictorial motifs alluding to specific scenes or characters, appear in numerous paintings. Even clothing, it says, actually. And books and albums.
Cool.
The Shining Prince. I wonder why he's the Shining Prince.
Who is dashing?
Dashing Prince. Is there a narrative component to any of the projects that you're involved in? Would you say? There is, I mean, I suppose we've been talking a little bit about, it seems like there might be a narrative component to the Bon Iver record as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were talking when we were having our coffee about the tracking and just the quality of feeling, and like being so close, obviously, to that as it's being tracked. Yeah, how does it feel, kind of being part of the narrative of the construction of the record, which has such a narrative focus?
It just feels like someone's opening the door to their, to their life, I guess. Or there are these feelings that are, because I didn't really know Justin before that record.
Yeah. How did you get involved?
Well, I guess I have a couple friends.
Yeah.
That
like Mike Lewis.
Yeah, Mike is a great friend. Very early influence.
Yeah.
And Mike Lewis is basically the reason I stayed in the cities.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was studying with Eugene Rousseau, who's a phenomenal mastermind of saxophone, but I wasn't necessarily fulfilled in the jazz sense just because I needed more. And Mike was this dude who was just crushing the saxophone. Yeah. And I heard him play because a buddy of mine recommended that I go see him.
Which project did you see first?
Fat Kid Wednesdays.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I quickly met Mike. And in fact, I think we just got in touch. I don't know how. I might have just gotten his phone number or something.
Okay.
Maybe called him. I don't know. I was like 18.
Yeah.
And then he would help me get into his shows,
Oh, right. Actually, just literally because you were 18.
Yeah, I was a responsible boy. Like, seriously, I was not, no foul play. It was just, I just wanted to hear the music, and I heard him play, and I was like, oh, man, this is great. If he's making music like this here,
this is where I should be.
Yeah, because there's not really anybody like that in Milwaukee. Not to say that there were, wasn't anyone there ever, but Mike was doing that, and I found him, and I was like, dude.
Him and JT.
And JC and Lynn's, and, they're just basically the projects they're involved in.
Yeah.
But so I knew Mike, and Ryan. I started working with Ryan Olson a few years back. I, brought a saxophone to Ryan's house after this show they did with Marijuana Death Squads.
Oh, nice.
And I was just rolling with the saxophone, and I, somehow just... I ended up getting it out, and he was playing beats, and I was soloing over the top. It sounds like a ridiculous thing, because it is. If someone came to my house with a saxophone and took it out and started playing, I would be like, "What are you doing?
Was there a bunch of people there, or just?
Yeah, there was, like, I think Lizzo showed up. And
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a bunch of, yeah, it was wild, man. It was like in the upstairs of his house or whatever. And
Yeah. But there was that feeling, and you'd been to these shows, and
I was just like, man, I should probably just play right now.
Yeah.
Because there's cool music going on, and they seem to be like okay with it.
Open to that kind of thing. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this was Mike and Ryan got involved with that.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because I felt like, well, why me? Like it's cool, but it's like, oh man, that's a lot, But
To be taken under their wing.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm really stoked about it, But
Yeah.
There's a very humbled, I guess, to be in the presence of these dudes who I've looked up to for so long.
And now to be.
And even Justin too. It's just like, I was aware of his music, as early as 2007 was when sort of I stumbled across his music, and
Yeah.
so it's just like, oh man, I've known about you for so long. You make really great music, and able to hang with you guys, it's awesome.
And it seems to be at the top of his game at the moment.
Oh, totally.
And to be involved in that.
Right.
Having experienced the evolution. Yeah.
And I don't know that that's like truly registered yet.
Yeah.
So like I'm just sort of like walking around like,
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then in your center stage in the most recent Hama video.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Doing like the classic thing that I like said I would never do, but it's only okay because I'm wearing a leather fringe jacket.
Oh,
so
okay.
You have to look nice.
Yeah. So the classic. So in what sense is that the classic thing? So
it's like saxophone man. It's like everyone just like, obviously they're. Yeah, I'd say I'm a saxophone player, and that's probably what pops into like 9 out of 10 people's heads. And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like maybe a little deeper than that. Like,
Yes.
I'm cool to. Fine, you can reduce me to that. That's fine, but
Yeah.
that's not like in my head. That's not what I am or what I do. It's like
it's
a
funny.
lot more work. But
It's funny to see that kind of. Because that's an iconic moment. That's one of the most memorable moments in that music video.
Yeah, it's like a parody of myself.
Yeah, but it's iconic. But it's not like, if I had to select an image of Nelson to be represented, that's not the image.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's like you're playing the part for that song.
Yeah, but I would still do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's indicative of
because I'm a good sport.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. What's the location of that video again? It's
Grumpy's. Yeah, Northeast.
Northeast Grumpy's.
Fun place to hang.
Yeah.
I'd never been there before the shoot, but I've been there since.
Been there since,
yeah. I'll tell you that. So. Yeah.
Cool. Well, should we continue exploring this? Yeah. And this has been It Was Only Dancing Sex by Hama Superstar featuring Nelson Devereaux, Great Sport and Saxman. So of all the bands that need to go to Japan, Cat Sax is
that's the front runner. Oh yeah.
Space jamming in Japan.
Yeah. Like when we go to Tokyo and I don't know, I just I've this fascination with the culture, and it's just so different from ours here, and this is such a strong, they're on an island, so that's long history, whereas I don't even really know my own. It's a classic American thing, to just be like, okay, at some point my relatives showed up in this country, and I don't know, it's like, I feel bad saying it, but yeah.
And as you're saying this, we're walking by a courtyard style house, like a traditional house that's been like recreated. Let's go inside the house. Yeah. So that's part of what fascinates you about Japan, the history, and obviously there's a lot of history to say England.
Yeah.
I'm biased with my example.
Totally.
But this is much further removed from like the culture, obviously, of the States. What are we seeing in this traditional courtyard style house?
Lots of chairs.
Yeah.
And there's this tapestry, or I don't know, scroll, I suppose, that's depicting a gentlemanly figure.
Yes.
He seems to be, you know, an esteemed figure at that.
Yeah.
You know, dressed in what would look like some very specific garb, wearing a great hat.
Yeah.
With not a necessarily angry face, just kind of like a, I don't know, disciplined face. Like
disciplined is good.
Focused.
Yeah. I was going to say stern, but it's not stern. It's a kind of gentleness.
Yeah.
But it's disciplined.
Yeah.
The whole place seems to have a vibe of almost like a place of worship, which it isn't.
No, I don't think
necessarily. So. But like the furniture in front of the what the man would describe it.
It should be noted that this is literally there is a roof, like what is an original roof with all of its ornate design.
Yeah.
It's not particularly well lit, but it's just fascinating that it's inside the museum. So
yeah, we're in a building within a building.
It's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. And I love this, Into the Deep by Cat Sax. So New Sound Underground has been really important for you over the last few years.
Yes.
If you are local and Harmar reference warning everywhere we are, then you will get this. The brilliantly titled Surely Furious by the New Sound Underground.
It's so much like a tapestry. I mean, it's crazy because a lot of the dudes come from like radically different musical backgrounds. So it's this tapestry that's very meticulously stitched together with like really different patches on it. You know what I mean? So it's like different fabrics, and you know, the individual voices come out when they have their times to solo.
Yeah, because you best jam bands you got of 20.
It was like 2015.
15.
I think.
Yeah,
which was a surprise to us, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll take it.
It says, listing the styles, the array of styles that form this tapestry in the bio. Everything from funk via jazz, fusion, rock, soul, R&B, and gospel.
Yeah, yeah.
And so after releasing the first self-titled record in 2013, you played at the Telluride Jazz Festival?
Yeah.
So that seems like that must have been like a catalyst experience.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was great. We had to work for that. That was one of those like vote for us sort of thing. It worked out for us. We pushed really hard, and we were like on tour when we were doing that campaign. So, you know, that festival was insane. I still remember that day. Telluride is a fantastic area.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to, but if you can make it out there, it's like, it's beautiful. It's, you're just tucked in this valley, and the road literally ends at a waterfall.
Wow.
You go through town, and it ends.
Yeah, well, it makes me think of, because we were talking about kind of the importance of location and wonder at the beginning, and with that first painting that we were looking at. So to be able to play at this, again, renowned festival that you're
as a musician, it's the best gift to have a place like that to play.
Yeah.
And I guess I can only speak for myself, but if I'm in a spot like that, I definitely am transformed. I absorb that and then regurgitate it.
And put it in the music somehow.
It's there. And with a band like New Sound, or maybe with Cat Sax or whatever, where there's lots of expression, that you're going to be able to feel tenfold. So like if it's a new place or a new venue, you know, you're going to be able to, you can hear that in the music. It's going to be there. So that's why I want to do wild stuff with like Cat Sax, you know. Let's play in a strange place. you know, and like I said, new sounds the same way. You know, they're the same arrangements a lot of the time, but man, when you get going, you know, it's like jazz in that way. You know, you're playing to your atmosphere. You know?
So. What are some of the strange places that Cat Sax has been playing and will be playing? Oh, you did the soundtrack to one of the movies in the park. Yeah,
that was like Spencer's thing that he had sort of arranged that. But that was essentially Cat Sax with Mason. Eric Mason on it.
Who features on one of the songs.
Yeah, he's been a good collaborator, a good friend.
I imagine he would be.
Great sport. You know?
Yeah, and he was involved in that Big Cats record as well.
Yep.
So that kind of came out earlier this year.
That got us together.
Yeah.
That was great. So, but so atmosphere is super important, you know.
One of, as has been the case going around the MIA.
Well, this just brings out a lot of emotion, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of feelings. So.
One of my favorite comments about one of the projects, the City Pages in 2015, highlights music is about bringing people together, and the talented musicians of New Sound Underground do just that. Their well-developed sound caters to both carefree and careful listeners alike, and again with like the pointillism metaphor, where you can have a carefree look at the painting and appreciate it, or you can have a careful look at the painting informed by reading the book on the art of pointillism, and both are completely compatible. So that's
I see
something
that.
you're going for?
That's something that is probably a little more clear in New Sound Underground, just because we have these compositions that we've been playing for a long time. But because it's instrumental, people might not immediately see what's going on and might be lost or something. I don't know. But that's if you listen for more than 10 seconds, you'll hear that it's like it's a thing. So
it has a form.
And I think that's why that band is doing well. I love those guys.
So we've been essentially allowing our location and these artworks to provide a lens to kind of recognize different things about the music than we would have done otherwise.
Right.
Well, you were telling me earlier that your brother did the artwork for both the New Sound Underground most recent record,
Push.
Push came out earlier this year, and also for Hustle Rose. Yeah, maybe we could close with using those works of art as a lens for thinking about the music.
I guess it's all about development that I see in him. I see in the bands. I see the influences that it also influenced me in my brother's painting, and the collaboration that I've had to help with, I guess, and with my bandmates and people in town, and trying to get these records out, and they're all different, and it's crazy. And the collaboration with someone that I respect, my brother, and trying to get him involved as well, remotely almost. And, and I guess it's just all progress, and I just want I want the story to continue, and I want people to continue to create, and that's all I can hope, I guess.
Yep. You're there looking in wonder at the castle and inviting other people to be there with you.
Exactly.
Experiencing the wonder.
Let's try to get there, wherever that is. Might take us our whole lives, but that's it.
Just stay on that rock.
And even if we're just looking
the warrior on the
great.
rock with the shield.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for taking me on the tour of your MIA.
Sure.
What the MIA means to you. And I think that's brought out a lot of stuff in the music. I've loved looking at it through this lens.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you for having me.
And enjoy the tour with Bon Iver and everything else that this busy year still has in store for you.
Yeah, keep in touch, man.
I will do.
Good.
Absolutely. Will do.
All right.
Thanks very much. What would be an appropriate song to close this episode with, do you think? Not the end of the Nelson story, but what's the soundtrack for this moment in the Nelson story?
Something with lots of different textures going on at one time.
Uh-huh.
So, what's the song? I'm not really sure. I could make it up for you right now if you want. There's enough reverb in here. I could probably loop myself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll have to think about that. But
Cool. And after some thought, there is no better way to end than as Early Fall does, with the palding light. What a sight. Thanks for listening, fellow fine arts scavengers.
Street lights in another time. The auburn leaves fill the autumn streets at night. Seen breath in the falling dew. What you want? I'm going to see the pardon light. What a sight. I messed up. What a sight. We're messed up tonight. Zip it up, the coat is fine. Your rosy cheeks are next to mine tonight. What a sight. I messed up. Winding roads will take the fast. We'll never live that life to see the parting light. Find yourself tonight. Find yourself tonight. See the light. You'll see the light. Unexplainable. La 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 la.